Hello everybody and welcome to my 5 games to play during a pandemic. Let's get into it. Starting off with number 5 we have Quarantine. This is developed by Sproing and published in February 2017. This is a turn-based game about waging war on a global disease. You select one of 4 leaders to be the director of Pandemic Defense, an international biosecurity agency, and it is your job to respond to the outbreak of a deadly pathogen. The game offers 5 lethal pathogen types and each offer their own unique challenges as you seek to outwit a mutating virus. You can do this by quarantining infected cities as you seek to stop the virus in its track, along with tech research which will enable you to increase logistics and survivability. You will also have to make difficult in-game choices where emergency situations occur, ranging from dealing with cults to powerful political figures. Picking the wrong one can be extremely costly. You will employ a team made up of specialists ranging from a medic to security, which offer varying roles in treating the infection to reducing costs of building an office, which is important in trying to fight the virus in certain locations. Your job is to level them up whilst keeping them alive in the midst of a growing danger. The ultimate goal of the game is to develop a cure. This is done in the research lab where you will collect samples of the virus so your team better understand what it's up against and how to deal with it. This is ongoing whilst you fight the virus head-on several different continents. The game has little replayability after earning 100% of achievements, which might not take you too long depending on your experience with these games. Overall, this is a simple style game which offers a solid strategy game, drawing a lot of similarities to popular board games in its turn-based style. Coming in at 4 we have Rebel Ink Escalation. This was developed and published by the popular Endemic Creations, who also came up with Plague Inc. The game was released on 15th October 2019 on Steam. In Rebel Ink Escalation, the war is over. This might not be based on a pandemic, but I think it fits in nicely with recovering from the pending economic fallout which many predict for coronavirus. Only joking of course, this is surely not going to happen. Anyway, in order to stabilise a war-torn country, you need to balance competing military and civilian priorities to win the hearts and minds of your people, whilst also stopping a deadly insurgency from seizing power. It is your job to select a leader and an advisor which have a range of different special abilities which will help depending on the different scenarios laid out before you. Once you have selected these, you will be taken into the game and shown all the different regions which you oversee. Each region contains its own demographics, infrastructure and environment, such as urban and rural areas which might contain dirt roads or highways. Population in each region will have different needs which will need to be managed throughout the game. You can manage and maintain these needs by activating initiatives, which would include civilian initiatives which will create stability in a region by giving different employment options and improved healthcare, ranging to military initiatives which give you the chance to fight back against any potential insurgents. Much like the real world, you are aiming to keep corruption down to a minimum along with the country's inflation rate. The game is eventually won by having all regions 100% stable, which seems unrealistic to me, but hey, I'm not the developer. Early access game, which means more features should be on their way. I say should be, as although this may not be the case. Cough, Daisy, cough. Users have been unhappy with developer feedback since the game was launched, but the developers recently announced that they are working hard to release the campaign mode, which has been long awaited. Time will tell whether they can keep their promise, but if they do, this game could push higher up in the charts. Coming in at number 3 we have Pandemic. This was developed and published by Asmodee Digital back in August 2018 and is based on the popular board game which was released in October 2017. Humanity is on the brink of extinction, and members of an elite disease control team, you're the only thing standing in the way of 4 deadly diseases spreading across the world. You must travel the globe protecting cities, containing infections from spreading, and discovering the cure for each disease. The fate of humanity is in your hands. The objective is similar to Quarantine. You must assemble a team of specialists to save humankind. The team ranges from medics to dispatchers, and each member of the team will have their own unique skill sets which they will use. Recruit the medic to quickly treat diseases, discover a cure faster with the scientist, or stop infections from spreading with the quarantine specialist. Each role opens new possibilities and syncs with other roles to offer new strategies. Pick from 7 available character roles to create your elite team. The game offers single or co-op mode. There was no multiplayer on release, however Steam modified it last autumn, so the game should now be playable on different machines. That being said, the game was not originally designed for this way, so may not perform as well when playing with friends on different accounts. Taking all this into account, buying this on Steam is perfect for a lockdown, as it prevents the need to buy the physical game and also allows the family to enjoy the game. Please note that rage quitting this game could result in a broken monitor as opposed to a table being flipped over, so user discretion is advised. If you like Quarantine, then be sure to give this game a try. For our penultimate game, we have Plague Inc., the more famous brother of Rebel Inc., because this is developed and published by Endemic Creations and was released in Steam on 18th February 2016. Plague Inc. involved is a unique mix of high strategy and terrifying realistic simulation. Your pathogen has just infected Patient Zero. Now you must bring about the end of human history by evolving a deadly global plague, whilst adapting against everything humanity can do to defend itself. The game does claim to be hyper-realistic. Although it should be taken with a pinch of salt, the game does offer a high sense of realism which gives the user a good understanding of how the world reacts to a pandemic and therefore how to beat it. You'll see common scenarios which are very similar to what's going on in the world today in terms of border closures, introduction of facial masks, isolation, etc. Even the Centre for Disease Control, CDC, likes it and produced a blog on the game. The game itself offers hours of gameplay and has endless different opportunities. There are 23 different unique scenarios which will give the player different challenges throughout the mode. There are also 10 different disease types ranging from fungus to bioweapon to some special plagues such as the zombie plague which uses the Necroa virus. The game also offers competitive multiplayer whereby the world is infected by 2 plagues and it's up to you to kill as many people as you can. Who said video games aren't fun? The game also offers cooperative mode where you can team up with a friend and there will be 2 different diseases to team up and infect and destroy the world together, but humanity has new tricks up its sleeves to fight back. Work closely with your partner and use brand new genes, traits and strategies to smash cure labs all over the world before they eradicate you. And most importantly, before we move on to our game number 1, don't forget to infect Greenland. So finally we move on to our game 1, our holy grail of pandemic games. This game was developed by Drygen Studios and published on the 8th of March 2018. The game I'm talking about, of course, is BioN Redemption. BioN Redemption is a biomedical simulator in which you make life or death decisions. Create the ultimate illness to infect and torment your victim, or play as the head of a medical team and hopefully find a cure to save your patient. Will you be the plague or will you preserve humanity? This game is a sequel to BioN, which was released on mobile in 2014 and boasted a user base of 15 million users. The game is aimed at a wide user base and it uses a simple mechanics in the game with a somewhat steep learning curve as you progress with difficulties. The game offers 18 different scenarios which offer their own unique challenges when it comes to treating a patient. These scenarios allow you to develop your skills as a doctor, but don't worry, you can ignore your newfound skills if you choose to. The game site describes the game as unforgiving, wicked and strangely compelling. I'm inclined to agree with you as you learn about the human body but also the human mind as you choose to play good doctor or bad doctor. Not to be confused with good cop, bad cop, as no one dies in that scenario. Usually. The game also offers multiplayer, where you pick a side and battle against other players online, which gives you a realistic approach of the virus fighting back. Overall, a fantastic game, and even has an educational side as you learn about the diagnostics performed in a hospital. So there you have it. They're my 5 games to play during a pandemic. All games are available on Steam for around £10 and sure to provide hours of entertainment during the seemingly never-ending lockdown. If you enjoyed the video, as always, please like and subscribe and also make sure to follow my Twitch channel below. Next up will be my top 5 games to play during a lockdown.